Right here, head coach Fred McNair. Coach, just opening up about a statement. This weekend's game against Prairie View A&M.
It'll be a tough battle. Going to Prairie View, got a long trip ahead of us. Starting out tomorrow morning, heading up to Prairie View at 8 o'clock. So it'll be a long day trip, all day trip. Probably getting in about 4:30 tomorrow afternoon, and get the guys settled in and get ready for a good Prairie View football team. They've been on a good spell right now. They've been on a good run. Coach Bubba McDowell got those guys working very hard and playing very hard as well. So we just got to do a great job of doing what we're supposed to do as a football program here at Alcorn State, getting these guys prepared for this week as we did, getting ready to play.
Coach, what kind of problems does Prairie View present? You look at them and they're way different than they were last year. And like you said, Bubba McDowell really has them playing well. What kind of problems do they present?
I think the defensive coordinator does a really good job of what he's doing in terms of their defense against opposing offenses. Mixing up in the backfield a little bit and up front, doing a good job of in the front seven. So it'll be a tough task for us, and we just got to get these guys on the right page. Got to get the offensive line playing a little bit better than they've been playing. We just got to play a perfect ball game, just about. Can't have no turnovers on offense that we had in the last couple of weeks. Costly turnovers, but the biggest thing is we protect the football. Be a better outcome for this week. So. Offensively, they got a dual threat quarterback. The quarterback can really run, and actually he's number 6 in the SWAC in rushing right now. So Conley is doing a great job of rushing the football, and we just got to bottle him up on defense. So we just got to make sure we can stay in our lanes and rush the passer, keep contained, and do the things we're supposed to do and tackle the ball.
Coach, just to switch gears real quick, Jarvie Howard closing in on 1,000 yards rushing. Just talk about what he's done for this program this season and what he's meant to you.
He's been tremendous, man. I tell you, when he come in, and had a conversation with him early this morning, after practice, we was talking about the way he came in here and the reason he's here. Simply the fact that I recruited him when he came out of high school. Just had a conversation about that and the reason he's back, because he wanted to play for me. So he's been a tremendous help to our backfield in terms of those guys, help them out with more of the knowledge of the game in terms of manipulating linebackers and defensive linemen. So he's been nothing but good. Guy's got a great future ahead of him if he just stay on course. Very respectful kid, great character young man, so very intelligent too. So he's been very helpful for us this season.
Coach, going to the other side of the ball, everybody knew Claude Shirless and of course KJ Kinsler, but talk about the player Terrence Ellis and just what he's done in Malachi Bailey. Those guys have really had breakout performances this season.
I tell you what, Terrence has been playing exceptionally well. Being part of that leading tackler for the team. KJ and Cherry Luz, they've been playing solid football. But Terrence has been an uprising of this program. When he got here, we expected high things from Terrence when he came out of Rice. And the things that he's doing now is exceptional well. It's just to show what kind of person he is, what kind of football player he is. But he's been very helpful in terms of defense.
Coach, an unsung hero in that defense, Rasul Muhammad. What's he been able to bring to you and that you guys see each week to keep putting him in the starting lineup? But he really has contributed well, even though a lot of fans may not see what he does out there on the field.
Well, Rasul has been with us for a couple of weeks now, so he just kind of get back in the thick of things and hopefully he'll come back and do the things he normally did before he left. Just had a little break, but things like that, it happens. But we just got to get him back on course and get him to do the things that he normally do when he was here.
Coach Keywayne Jones, another person that in that lineup you look at along that defensive front. Just what does he bring to this team, and what are you happy about seeing from him this year?
The biggest thing is I think Coach Bradley's done a great job with all those guys up front on the defensive front, doing the things that need to be done. Keywayne has been very solid for us. Just looking at his style of play, what he presents on the defensive line, but he's been playing pretty solid. But he kind of missed a lot of stuff last week in terms of playing. But he's been very solid in things that he does.
Coach, when you go to the offensive line, you look like Moment and Yarborough. Just all these guys have been absolutely steady throughout the year. They've been along that line. They've been there. They've done that. Just talk about what that offensive line meant to you this year and what you saw when you recruited each of them.
The biggest thing is I had a good talk with him yesterday afternoon during the course of that meeting, kind of just explaining to him, the urgency of this front of establishing movement for the running backs and protecting the quarterbacks. And I think they get a really good understanding of it. We just got to get better play out of them up front, and I think that's the bread and butter of the offense, and of course the bread and butter of the defense is how well you play up front. It's all one in the trenches. So we just got to establish more more movement up front, get the guys open more space to run, protect the quarterback a little bit better than we have been the last couple weeks. So I think they understand the conversation we had yesterday with them in terms of what we need to do up front to make this train run.
Coach, when you look at the three-headed monster, obviously Leatherwood, Duffy, and Howard, you've also got one on the receiving core. You've got Rogers, Hunt, and then of course Juan Anthony, Bowler. You've kind of got a four-headed monster there. Just talk about the emergence of some of those guys, especially Monterio Hunt and Malik Rogers lately.
You know, the biggest thing is, I think the quarterback has done a great job of giving them opportunity to catch the ball, making proper reads and giving the ball, even a 50-50 ball. I think our guys can make plays on those. I think we had one ball thrown out of bounds against the Grambling game, and that was really just upsets me when the quarterback throws the ball out of bounds and not get a receiver a chance to catch the ball. But those guys have been tremendous. Hunt, Malik, and Juan Anthony, those guys have been great catching football. Even the merge of our tight end, Truck. So those guys have been doing tremendous in catching football. We just got to continue to make more consistent plays in terms of our offense. And like I said, the offensive line what makes it go. So we got to get those guys playing better up front.
Coach Truck Griffin with his first touchdown of the season last week. Just talk about his play this year. You already alluded to him.
Big help for us, man. We can split Truck out and 11 personnel and bring him back in and in tight formations as a yo. But things like that, Truck is a tremendous athlete. He back there returning punts during the course of practice. Want to get that opportunity, but he been great help for us at that position and continue to emerge right now as a tight end.
Coach, how do you prepare for a short week like this? Usually it's Thursday night football. Now it's Friday night football. How do you prepare for a night like this, especially on the road?
It's tough because normally you come off of a game on Saturday, you have Sunday, then you're off on Mondays, and you're back to work on Tuesday. But we have to go steadily, constantly, just Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday practice. So get ready to travel on Thursday morning. So it's been a very short week, but the things that you normally do in preparation of a ball game, you kind of cut down the playlist a little bit in terms of what you can do, get these guys on the same page and get them to understand things a little bit quicker than if you had a full week in preparations.
Coach, last thing, just one word to describe Alcorn football this week. What do we look forward to see?
Movement. That's going to be the biggest thing. We got to get movement up front. We got to be physical. That's the biggest thing that we got to make sure that we're doing this week. We got to get movement up front. Got to play on a consistent base up front in terms of what we do offensively.
Coach, end us off. As Braves, together we rise.
Together we rise.
Thank you, Coach.